I seen my copy there in a hat. When Nigerians understood the assignment there, we boy should put a sensei costume man on me. But we'll see how it goes. You never know, you know. Welcome to another edition of Connecting the Dots. I tell you, I'm so excited about this. Here's why. We're going to talk about the traditional aspects of our carnival, what makes us, unique, stand out from the rest. There's something about our carnival, its originality. For many years, we were referring to our carnival as, spontaneous. That spontaneity aspect was always at the forefront. But there's something about originality and proper coordination, and you'll understand why. So we want to highlight this on Connecting the Dots this morning. Right, it's time to go because we have some interesting things to show you. I just know that if you see we had planned this long ago, maybe last week, it would have been big, but it's all right. Nigel Kope, bonjour, comment oui, eh?
Hey, bonjour, mwela.
Nice vibes, Nigel. How you doing, Nigel? So you tell me, Ukachebe, how was the week for you?
The week has been good. Mixture of work and everything else, and trying to fit in the carnival vibes in between work, so good week, can't complain.
Right.
It's nice, and of course Saturday is here, we connect. So
Saturday
that's what makes
is here.
It even more special.
There's something about a Saturday, I tell you, Nigel. Yes. It just rubs me the right way, The nice vibes,
yes. How was your week, though?
Well, Nigel, too busy, that's all I can say. I mean, too busy.
That is yes.
Too
I know
busy.
The feeling.
Now, 2 days is going to be like crazy, especially after the show, but we'll see how it goes. I give thanks.
We have
to the Most High. Gratitude is a must. And
all the time.
I still have the laddie Y, so that's important. Yeah, man.
And that's what matters for now.
That's what matters, I mean?
Yes.
Yeah, man.
I know it's a busy time for you,
very
busy time for DBS, all the outside broadcasts and everything, getting everything organized.
Yes, organized. Sometimes you have to go to the venue before, you have to go to the production booth before, you have to do other things, go to the Calypso house, so it's a lot. But yeah, that's a Baffroad girl, so I cool.
Yeah. Baffroad girl, Calypso girl, I mean, all put together,
man.
So, yes, you have it. You have it. You got it.
Yeah. Let's just say congratulations to Tice Faustin and for winning another title, back-to-back, the Junior Calypso Monarch title. I also want to say congratulations to all of them because they are all winners in their own rights. I mean, at that age, to go on stage, and express yourself in Calypso, it's not easy. So I want to congratulate all of them. The Bouillon Monarch as well, coming from the PSS. Big up to you, lady. So that's nice, Nigel. That's good.
Yes. It's good. Mighty T was able to come back and defend his crown. And of course, he came back. So he desperately came back for everything.
Yeah.
So, congratulations to him. Last week we had him and he was pretty confident. He pulled it through. So, congratulations to
all
he
of
and
them.
his entire team. And of course, his school SMA. Congratulations on that. And then, like you mentioned, PSS, cut it off. So, nice little booyah rhythm, a nice song. Love the lyrics in that and all, the negative vibes. Cut it off. Do like Dominic. No bull face. So it was nice. It was nice.
So let's touch our girl. Let's touch Camille Rose Esprit, of course, because she was on with us just a few weeks ago.
Definitely.
So big up to you, my dear. Just keep continuing, right?
She has a bright future, man. She has a bright future. You know what I mean?
Okay. So
and that's this. The experience of yesterday is only going to make it better for her. So congratulations to you, and looking forward to see you next year and bigger things to come, and all the others who participated. Congratulations to you guys. Did an excellent job.
Right. So we're not going to talk plenty here, Nigel, because we have someone there, like a raconteur, who can tell us about traditional mass. But just quickly, tonight is the big night. 20 Calypsonians, 9 will be chosen.
9 will be
to
chosen,
meet King
and
Thriller.
that's it. Goodbye to the others.
Yeah, goodbye to the
other.
Right, that's it.
So it's going to be a big night. And
big
of course,
night.
DBS has it live for you. So make sure you log on and make sure you do your pay-per-view things and all the rest of it. You know what I mean? So it's going to be a great night.
All right. So we're going to bring on our first guest. Well, he's the guest for the entire program, really. So he's going to do something like, storytelling and go back to the days, Nigel. I mean, this carnival and revelry that we talk about is so unique, as we said earlier, Nigel. Many people look forward to the start of the carnival season, especially before. Of course, it was bigger back then, but we still continue to ensure that we keep, the traditional aspects. And I really wish that the Papi Show wedding could come back, and more of the street theater could come back. But we'll talk about that as we go along. But it's really a good vibes to look at Dominica's carnival and its originality as well, Nigel.
Yes, and at one point, of course, we marketed it as the most original carnival. And I think we still can continue to do that because we definitely have the most original carnival. Even if we have the modern things coming through, but that traditional aspect is something that's unique to Dominica, and it's something that we have to cherish and preserve and make sure that, the younger generation is part of it. So I'm hoping the kids can be part of the whole celebration of traditional mass.
Definitely. So, Nigel, the literature on Carnival, I was doing some read up, I always read about our traditional aspects, but the literature teaches, I think, that it was a rare opportunity for revelers to celebrate a culture uniquely their own. And look at how it has been handed down to us. And we want to look at the traditional aspects of our carnival. There's so much that we can look at. And yes, Boogie, you're giving me a message, but I'm live on air, Boogie, so you'll have to check me back in a short while. Yeah, so we have to, but we have to celebrate the traditional aspects of our carnival. And we have this traditional mass rapporteur who is so well versed in all of this, Nigel. He plays mass. He also gets time to look at what is happening with the other groups as well. So I'm so happy that we have, we have one, right? Say so, Emmanuel. Za.
Yes.
I mean, Za can really, run the thing, man, when it comes to the carnival. And I can remember Za as a little girl because I was living on, Bath Road, right next to High Street, so all of that. And you would see this towering figure coming in the Sensei costume and all of that. So it's really a pleasure to bring him on and to help us, to guide us through. And Nigel, you yourself, obviously, you're a student of history, and you have studied a lot about our cultural heritage. So it's more your show and Za, and I'll do the listening and everything. Maybe dance a little now and then. If the Jinping, they not Jinping, the Lapuka it comes.
Important part of it.
Yes.
That'll be the most important part, Yeah. But as someone who grew up in the vibes as well, you know what I mean? So definitely it's going to be one of those, times, one of those hours where we connect with the past and, of course, with what's happening now, where we want it to go. So, I mean, it's going to be a pleasure to have Za with us and to go through the process.
I tell you, yeah, man.
It's going to be nice. It's going to be nice.
It's really
ready,
nice.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Nigel, I was going to put on a Sensei, I tried the Sensei, not looking bad,
but the Sensei, but for some reason, there was some problems with the post office. They had to kind of look through it, and they was asking me, what is that and what is this? So, it's a little difficult to clear it. So I just left it over there. I'll pick it up maybe next week.
All right.
And then, of course, after that, I head in for Granby. So,
but you could have contacted this guy. I mean, he was arrested after the January 6th. What's his name, Nigel? I can't remember this guy with this big, horn on his head. And it was looking like a Sensei somewhat.
Yes.
You should have contacted him to get this. But anyway, let's bring on Za.
I should have done that.
Yeah. Let's bring on Za.
Yes.
Greetings, Za. How you doing, man?
How you doing, my dear? Good?
Nice, I'm fine.
How's your Saturday going now?
Man, I tell you, there's something about the Saturday is when you see I leave my home and I'm heading down to DBS Radio and I see action on the Newtown Savannah in particular, probably the Newtown Juvenile Football Academy, that really spurs me to go on and do a good job. So good Saturday again.
Yeah, talking about the Savannah, I'm dead center in that area. I was actually born on the Savannah itself, so we have a strict, deep history with not just Newtown, but the activities that make Newtown. And there are several activities, really. But since we're in the carnival spirit, and Newtown is one of the sister communities patterned with Pottersville, that have actually, as well as Roseau Central, listeners, actually make our carnival what it is today. if it were not, I think, in the Roseau area, the greater Roseau area, if it was not for those three communities, Newtown, Pottersville, and Roseau Central, what we call the original mass today may have disappeared. All right? So what I really want to look at today with my dear friend here is to make a contribution to the analysis of the historical aspects of our carnival. And we could take it from immediately after 1834. That is when we as Africans, free slaves, began to play a major role in the carnival process. However, what I would like our listeners, I want you to take seriously into consideration is that Dominica Carnival is not an emancipation carnival. It is not a carnival that is based on 1834. It's a Catholic Lenten-based carnival. We have different types of carnival in the region. We have the Barbados and Antigua. Those two islands celebrate Barbados with Corpova, and Antigua celebrate August 1. August 1 is very important for me, and I think should be for all descendants of Africans in the Caribbean. This is Emancipation Day. So Antigua celebrates an Emancipation Carnival. Barbados, an Emancipation Carnival. Trinidad, Dominica, all the Catholic countries, our carnival are Lent-based carnival.
Interesting that you mentioned that those because I wanted to see the connection, because I thought that the slaves really was celebrating their freedom through masquerade, dancing, and they were singing in the streets, having a good time, which soon become a fundamental aspect of our carnival.
Yes, certainly. That happened. But let's say, for instance, St. Kitts, their carnival is a Christmas-based carnival. Bahamas is a Boxing Day-based carnival. So there are quite a few carnivals in the region that is not, while it celebrates our freedom, or while they celebrate our freedom, they are not what we call emancipation. Like Dominica Carnival is not an emancipation carnival. It is a Roman Catholic, it's a Roman carnival, because the whole idea of the Roman Christian church, was to have you eat and drink as much as you can before Ash Wednesday. So here go Mardi-Gras, Lady-Gras, Vendredi-Gras, Samedi-Gras. Fatten yourself, because you're going to go into 40 days and nights of Lent. So we have a Lent-based carnival. All right. I hear people talking about changing the date and what have you. Yes, you can do that. If you move it, then you're not going to move the Lenten calendar. So you'll move it away from it Lent-based.
Okay. All right. Nigel, that's vibes. I like this.
Yes,
Nigel,
yes. Interesting
sure you'd want to
discussion. I really
comment.
like how the vibe starts in terms of the historical part of it and the different parts of the Caribbean and where they celebrate the carnival. I mean, Jamaica has its carnival in April.
Right.
So, you have different countries in the Caribbean celebrating it. But of course, all linked to celebration and freedom.
That's correct.
That's the link there. So we appreciate that. We appreciate that, Zach. In terms of say Dominica and our traditional mass, as we call it, right? Or carnival, as we call it. And you mentioned the three communities in Roseau that kind of kept it going. Give us a little idea of, the start of that. Was it in the Newtown area, or was it in the Pottersville area, the Roseau area? Where do you recall that, the first groups kind of
Who can claim this? Yes.
Well, all three communities. Because what you really have at Newtown, just as you see, we enjoy the emancipation part of the carnival. Newtown is a fishing village, and Pottersville was at that time a fishing village. All right? Roseau Central was not. But the fishermen, particularly the fishermen at Newtown and Pottersville, had a particular way of celebrating their culture, right? Which is really tied to emancipation and what have you. But we had a particular as far as I can go back, a particular tradition in Newtown, which we call the Newtown Lapo Cabwit, which was actually started by the Wade brothers. They were three brothers, the Wade brothers, and according to my mother, who was a Carnival person, because I was born in a Carnival family. My mother, back then, bro, women used to wear sensei. Something you see coming back. But my mother used to play mass with one horn on the head and one horn on her chest. So back then they had, but the whole idea of me understanding the origins of Carnival within the three communities and which came first, I do not think any came first. I think all three of them played a critical role based on the freedom of Africans from 1834 and up, because it is in the Emancipation Proclamation we start celebrating ourselves, because prior to that what we were doing is going from master house to master house, singing in master parties and what have you. After 1834 we brought ourselves into master carnival. We brought the African spirit, the African materialism into Carnival. So I do not think any one of the communities started first. I think on a whole, right? Tying the Catholic or the Roman aspect of our carnival and the emancipation aspect of our carnival, Dominica on a whole celebrated carnival after emancipation in a popular way. Remember that, not in a popular way. In other words, I know you'll understand that, and the listeners will. The demographics of Carnival expanded after emancipation.
Nice. Yes. That is, yes, definitely so.
So whether it's Pottersville, whether it's Newtown or Roseau Central, all three communities contributed a specific aspect of the Dominican Carnival. For instance, at Newtown, as I said, we had the Lapo Cabrit. All right, and then we had the Thunderbirds Carnival organizations. In Roseau Central, you had the band Milat. The mulattoes used to have their own band, which they call the band Milat, with Adeline Johnson and what have you, organizing them. And then you had the roots people in Roseau Central being organized by a lady from Point Michel, who we call Irene Peltier, who stayed in Point Michel, but her Carnival organization was in Roseau Central. And as I said, you had Adeline Johnson organizing the band Milat in Roseau Central. But you also had Cici Cordiron organizing. I've only spoke early on of she wished the Papi Show could come back. Macordia was instrumental in seeing to that the Wop Duet, the Jeep, the Papi Show, as I said, Kalimaye, right? And other little aspects of our carnival to make sure they stayed alive. We have lost a lot of it. I'm going forward. We lose the Papi Show thing, which used to happen after midnight.
Yes.
Go ahead.
I was just saying, I remember as a little girl, my mother would bring me to see the Papi Show wedding on that big step in Lagos.
Right.
It was going there. And that was just something really, it was enlightening, but it really gave me a greater appreciation for our culture. So I would have seen this for many years, and then of course it's
disappeared. And then you had the individual performances, right? By skill craft people, my boy. We had a gentleman at Newtown called Rupert Lloyd, who was just a master at creating things for Carnival. A master. And this guy should be honored. There should be a statue of this guy somewhere in the Newtown area.
And he did a lot.
He did a lot, and people must understand. We had another guy at Newtown we call Wade, who used to put out an Indian band every year, traditionally, from the time I know myself.
Indian band?
Yes, American Indian. They used to break stones on one another's chests. But what they used to do, they were very skillful and diplomatic. The Sunday Carnival, they used to come out Monday morning Carnival, Juve. Remember, we hadn't got Juve at one point, Juve is a new thing in our Carnival,
Hey, look at Lapoca without saying
Juve is a new thing. Remember, Carnival used to start at 6 in the morning and stop at 6 in the night. We'll get into that. All right? But these guys used to pass around in the night, there, and set up stones, crack the stones. And set up stones in specific areas. They were real technicians, Set it up in different areas. And in the morning, Monday morning, Carnival morning, they come out with their drums and what have you. And the one would go pick up a stone, put it on another one chest with a sledgehammer and hit the stone. But the stone was already semi-broken. So
Whoa.
so there's no force on the chest. They had that down pack to skill. So all those little individual performances, they are all gone.
Yeah.
They're not in the kind. However, and I know we'll get to that. We will get to the history of the Sensei and the history of the Suswell Sui and the Go Border and the Go Go.
Of course, it's
we'll get into this. Okay. So to answer your question, Nigel, I do not think any one of the communities should be given credit for starting. Right? The actual carnival. I think all the communities in Central, in Roseau, the greater Roseau area, played a critical role. Because Pottersville itself had their own Lapo Cabwit. And they had their own carnival costume builders, like a woman they call Dodo, Beachy, from Pottersville.
Nigel has history, man. I love this.
She was a 1 foot, she had one leg, they amputated one. But traditionally, every year, she would come out with either a sailor band from Pottersville or the netball rounders costume from Pottersville. We call her Beachy. She really, Dominica already. They always name you after something. Yeah. So that community and their Lapo Cabwit. And bro, listen well, the practice which we have lost. You know what that is that? You know what is the practice? Two to 3 weeks before Carnival, the Lapo Cabwit out there would be on the streets.
I know. Yeah.
You know, like you practice to go and play a soccer game?
Yeah.
We used to practice for Carnival Monday and Tuesday.
What used to be involved in those practices? Because I trying to figure, and were they trying to learn the songs or was it like...
Yeah, there were songs and then they had the Lapo Cabwit, right? The Lapo Cabwit was the instrument for the practice back then. Right? And we have to understand the structure of the Lapo Cabwit itself. The Lapo Cabwit has a structure, you know. It has the instruments, right? It has the drums, the bass drums, you know, it has the rhythm drums, it has the lead drums. But it also has a chatouel, which we call a singer.
Yes.
And one section is a singer and the other section is a lavoué. So you'll have the singer singing and the lavoué backing up the singer. It's the same African relationship with music, which we call call and response.
It's like in the belly as well.
It's the belly,
yes.
Okay?
You
have the chatouel and whatever. And what is very interesting to understand about the Lapo Cab, the structure of the Lapo Cabwit, the singers always give the people who playing in the band their back. Yeah, because the singers face the Lapo Cabwit, they face the drums. Because the drummers are getting the energy from the singers. So the singers were facing the drums with their back to the people that are dancing. They were not looking forward. It's very, very interesting when you look at this whole thing. And we see them today in Juve when the Lapo Cabwit.
That aspect of it continues.
It continues. You have to know it continues. Wow. All right. So we have to understand little bits and things of, you know.
I didn't realize. I mean, I love my Lapo Cabwit. I know
but it has a structure.
But I didn't realize that, you know, the singers had to be close to the, and give them the back.
Drum beating and they're facing the drummers.
Okay.
Singing to the drummers. And the lavoué is also, which is the other part of the call and response setup, facing the drummers. But the back is to the people that are dancing to the music.
Wow, Nigel, there's a drum beat outside here, boy, Nigel, I tell you.
It's going.
You're feeling it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Wow, but Nigel, what rich history that we have. Definitely, but I want to talk. I want Zach to talk about Thunderbirds, you know, and all of that, and you know what was happening, and you know, in close proximity, there were other communities, you know, doing their thing as well. I remember when I was living in Queen Mary Street in that big yard, Laco Shillingford, we built a huge dragon one year, a huge dragon. I just can't understand how some people could just come together and decide to build a huge dragon like this. And I want you to touch on this as well, and some of the things that you remember that other communities, you know, they did as well.
Right. it's very interesting that I listened to, I think it's this JCI bringing back the float on the Sunday, Carnival Sunday.
Yeah. Oh.
And I know Nigel knows that, and most of our listeners should know that there was no opening of Carnival when we were growing up on 2 weeks or 4 weeks before Carnival. It was the Sunday Carnival that was the big thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, all of the bands, let's say you had 10 bands going to parade Monday, and the parade was Monday, not Tuesday. I'll touch on that a little bit.
Okay.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
All the bands would have a truck with 1 or 2 people wearing the costumes they're going to be using on Monday Carnival in the Windsor Park, Sunday afternoon. Right? And there were even judges to judge which float would come out first.
Yeah, I remember those days. I saw a lot of this, yeah.
All right. And after, you'd have the Carnival Queen represented in the park, you'd have the Calypso King. If you remember, Breaker had a song which he says that the Carnival Queen getting everything, the Calypsonians not getting anything. So no more steel band, no more Calypso. That's Breaker, way back then. So everything was on a Sunday afternoon. And after the judging and the floats, then the floats would take to the street. And we would have Carnival starting at that particular time. So it wasn't 3 weeks or 2 weeks before Carnival. Carnival Sunday was the big thing, going into Carnival Monday and Carnival Tuesday.
Yeah.
And I'm very happy to see that the youth, it's JCI, I can't remember the name of the organization.
Yeah, just JCI doing the Sunday
JCI bringing back the Sunday parade, right? Yes. In the Windsor Park. This is very critical, and I really love that.
Yes, I really appreciate that too. Quickly, Zadie, the Lapo Cabot practicing, was that like focused in one area, or were they like going around?
Very good question. Very good question.
Nigel is smart.
Nigel, if you remember, we had not all that traffic, back then, like we have now.
Yeah.
If you were to do that on Victoria Street now, it would be murder. Right? What used to happen? Right? They would start at Newtown. You see where Reuben Bakery is?
Right.
That is where the Wade brothers stayed, right? They would start from there and on the road all the way to the Rosa Boys School, where you have the car wash at Newtown right there. Right? And then go back. It would never pass the Rosa Boys School. It would stop at the Rosa Boys School and go back down to Newtown and to where Reuben's Bakery is and go back up and down like this. All right? But I mean, it would be a little tough to do this now because of the volume of traffic.
Yes.
You have back then his bicycle was the rolling thing.
Yeah, but even in my days as well, I can remember, Nigel, I'm sure you did it as well. Like every year I would go on the port, Nigel, that port jam, and then we would jump to, I think sometimes up the Constitution Hill with Scientific Rolls and E&M, and that was just a massive, celebration and revelry on the streets. So much we have lost.
Right.
About our carnival and
but it can be done now, but you can do it in the confines of Cornwall Street by Harlem Plaza because traffic is not passing there. So you could take the back where Morancy has the auto place and use that corridor there back and forth and start doing the practice again.
Yeah, but where's the Lapo Cup? They're supposed to come inside there and
it's
the
not
drums.
They're
out there, but they're doing something special and they have to come in and I want to take a little.
So Nigel, you ever had an experience in a practice for Lapo Cabot?
No.
Oh. Well, bro, you miss a lot.
I miss it.
Yeah, you miss it. Because it was a community effort,
Yes.
The whole community was behind it, It's not just 1 or 2 people. All young, take to the streets, my brother, 3 weeks or 2 weeks before Carnival, every night with the exception of Saturday and Sunday. Because back then, Dominica was a strict Christian society, a strict culture, and we have given that up, But there's nothing happening Saturday going into Sunday.
Okay. Wow, Nigel.
So just as we're wrapping up that Lapo Cabot part, because we're waiting for the Lapo Cabot to come in, but just as we're wrapping up that part there with the practices, so they would have popular songs that they would be doing, and then was it like the practices? Was it like every night, or was it like 2 nights a week, or how
from Monday to Friday?
Wow.
every night for 2 weeks, Monday to Friday. And the songs were the same traditional songs we sing today. Do 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 gadi do wad mo potibao. And the new ones came in like Erica, Why, you know, and what have you. But the songs were really the traditional songs.
Tenny Shutong and those things there?
Tenny Shutong way back, at the end part of it. Right? But the same traditional songs that, you know, Serenade have in their medley or we sing up to today, you know, in our calypso. In our traditional music. But hold on, another key thing with this is these people, some of them were so talented they would compose songs on the spot.
Yes.
If something happened during the day at Newton, partner in making the lapocab within the night, you know.
Yeah.
They were very, very talented. We have a lot of talented people. I'm not lying to tell you.
And I mean, people had no issues singing those songs and jumping to them. And
Yeah, man. Yeah. This is and Macchio, no English, partner.
Creole, I was just
it's
about to say that.
Patois steady, you know.
Yeah, what comes to mind as well is the Gaylords Power Union. They have a lot of those songs as well. There's John Levy,
John made it,
and you know, songs like that. So yeah. Wow, this is so interesting.
And those. Yeah. They would, but they would compose on the spot.
Yeah. So what was happening in the yard, because we had a lot of yards and Kuwe and all of that, that would come out on the streets at that time. Because
the maple.
Yes, the maple would be putting song.
Yeah. Wow. The maple would come out in the night.
Wow, Nigel boy, let tell you, we're so unique. This is just
we are.
This says a lot.
Definitely so.
What else
back then, did they have like uniforms, or the Lapocabit had their uniforms? Like how now we see them in their t-shirts?
No.
Did they have like
no, plain clothes?
Anything
until Juve morning. But the practice is plain clothes. Juve morning who would put their gong on them, who would do this. But for the practice, it's just the ordinary, what we call bowman.
Okay,
ordinary clothes and what have you.
Wow.
Right.
Man.
So on the practices, last thing on the practices, it would start from what time to what to end? And
normally 7:48, you know, and we'll go just before 9:30, 10. No longer than that.
Wow. Okay, nice. So that's our Lapocabit practice.
Nigel, what is the book saying as we move on? What is the book saying?
The book is very busy, you know.
It's busy,
yes.
Okay.
Noreen Joseph says, "I ready for Juve?" Yes, Noreen. I go in Granby. I go into your place in a while after that. She says songs were composed on people who misbehaved during the year. Winnie Green, good morning to you. Saying good morning to Zan, Ivons, and Nigel. Saying hello to you guys. And Noreen is telling us some popular individuals back then, as people like Fanso.
Yes,
Fanso in the Roseau Pottersville area, and of course Rupert Lloyd that you mentioned, and Mr. Ulysses.
Yes.
Yes, good morning to you. I'm Crispin Shillingford. Good morning, listening from Texas. And, you know, Fan Chu, good morning to you as well. Edwin London from Houston, good morning. And Simeon George, good morning. You know, so the book is going very busy. Snapper, of course, good morning to you. Snapper is always there. Say, are you and I bones ready for Carnival? Jennifer Coffey in Jacksonville, Florida, and LFG, and everybody else saying good morning to Zah, and of course thanks for they're telling you thanks for the history.
Yeah, my boy.
Cool. Thanks for sharing to let us know about the history of Carnival. Good morning to you, Miss Virginia Murphy. You know who that is, Ivons?
Well, of course. Yeah, man. That's another mother of mine, you know. Of course.
Yes. She log on next to me, but good morning to her too. Okay. And of course, Alice Francis, good morning. You know who's Alice Francis? Good morning. Of course,
but that's family living Nigel. Come on, man.
Yes, so she log on too. Good morning to everybody. And of course, Claudette Benjamin saying good morning, Zana. Everyone, thanks for the history lesson. Miranda Harris, good morning. And of course, Z, good morning to you. Z meaning Zed Lloyd.
Yes.
Zed Lloyd is also logged on.
My boy.
Of course, from the Newton community. I'm pretty sure he was part of Carnival.
Nigel, Mr. Lloyd is his father.
Exactly, yes. Rupert Lloyd
is his father, yes.
So I guess he was part of that.
Whose father? I missed it.
Zed Lloyd's father.
Okay, yes. I didn't realize. Okay.
Yes,
wow.
yes. So maybe he was part of that.
I used to go by Mr. Lloyd a lot.
At the time in terms of the Carnival. Maybe he had caught. Yeah. So let me ask you.
No, Nigel, was just saying I used to go by Mr. Lloyd a lot, and just stick your just hold your question a while.
Yes.
And I'm still wondering what was done. I'm not sure if you know, because he had a lot of stuff. I think he did something of Dame Mary Junior Charles. I can remember seeing this, and a lot of other things that he would have done.
Outside of Carnival, we could write a book on him. He was the originator of the flowered bricks. You know the bricks you have the design in the middle, flat.
Okay.
Not the flat one, and you have sometimes like a flower. All this. He started that by himself.
I'm trying to wonder because I'm trying to wonder because with Mr. Lloyd, if I'm Rupert Lloyd, how was he able to create those things? We didn't have the kind of technology and stuff that we have now.
Partner,
and he did that for years.
Partner, anybody that could take a saw and play hair scalar on it is a magician.
We had a lot of magicians back in our day,
the man would bend a saw. 2 notes.
Yes, I remember. Yes.
Bend the saw and make the saw sing.
Yes.
A particular song for you.
Wow.
I cannot tell.
We had a lot of magicians.
I cannot tell where this, inspiration came from. Where his inspiration. But he was a multi-purpose person.
Yeah. And even this man, I remember as a little girl as well as you speak about this. He was called Mal, but he could make ice bricks.
Yes.
And other stuff. Mortar and pestle and things like that.
Right.
Nigel, I know you had a question. The drum is there. I want some music. You want
to hold your... But before you go, Nigel, hold on. Before you go, you mentioned one of the key individual characters, another one in our carnival, and that is Fanso Bedo. Fanso was a shoemaker on the riverbank, right?
Right.
But he had a unique costume for Carnival Monday. You know what it is?
Tell us.
The darkie. He used to paint himself in black oil.
Yes.
With a tail and horns on his head playing Satan. Yes. You see what the Lapland darkies have today if you go to Grenada, you have jab.
Yeah.
No, Mr. Fanso was one of the original jabs.
Yes.
In our carnival. However, we had a larger aspect of Fanso in the carnival. And this is, we used to have stick fights in our carnival between the darkies and the red ochres on the Newton Savannah, The darkies were from Pottersville, I think, and the red ochres were from Newton. Okay. And they would pin themselves, the darkies would pin themselves black, and the red ochres would pin themselves in a kind of pink paint. And have stick fights on the Newton Savannah Carnival Monday.
Wow.
Yeah.
So Fanso is coming from that tradition.
Yes.
As an individual who was like a saint from Ash Wednesday until Carnival Monday, where he would paint himself all in black, horns on his head, tails, and run around Rosso.
Wow. Let's get some music, Nigel.
So I'm very happy that the caller mentioned Fanso. He's a critical individual in our carnival. Go ahead, my dear.
Let's get some music. So, guys, you're going to strike up the music for us, right? 3 of the guys from the new song Labuka with band. lovely. This is lovely. We're just showing you various aspects of our traditional mass. I haven't seen the ladies with the big bottom. I'm not sure if they forgot. But we'll do it what we have. We'll have to show you some stilt walkers as well. It's connecting the dots on DBS Radio. Of all of this, you know. Used to run when you black. tuning in or just viewing, what we're doing is showing you aspects of our traditional carnival. So you have the Lapuka, but you have the Sensi. We're expecting the big bottom ladies. I haven't seen them. We have the stilt walkers as well. It's kind of difficult for the stilt walkers to appear on camera in studio. So what we have done is produce a short video we'll upload, and very soon you'll see them. This is who we are as Dominicans. That's our culture. It's in our DNA. Shout out to all of you listening who would have contributed in some way or another. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Wow. I love this.
Yeah, very, very much.
Man. Yes.
Yeah, very, very much so. And I have to as I look through the screen and I see this guys beating the young men, Mike's Judge. I see Mike's here. And these young guys have actually kept that tradition, my God. Isn't that something? You probably did 3-4 generations, you know. Coming in to the studio today. Some young men from the Newtown area. Following in the footsteps of people who, if they were alive today, would be 125, probably 130 years old. And these young men, they're keeping that tradition. I think my hat's off to them. And the sensei, when Ivan is ready, we could just look at the sensei a little bit, because there was one individual with a sensei on him parading in studio with the Lapo Carboit. And as my dear friend and member of the Thunderbirds family, Chicago, I know Ivan had asked me to say something on Thunderbirds, so I'll just spend 2 minutes on the Thunderbirds Carnival organization, which actually is from the Newtown area also. And did not only play a critical role in Carnival, but also sports, football. Just like today you have the Harlem Football Organization. Harlem Football Organization is an offshoot of the Thunderbirds football organization. However, for Thunderbirds is about, I would say, around 60 to 63 years old.
Wow.
Yes, as a non-governmental carnival organization. It is the oldest carnival NGO in Dominica. It's over 63 years old this year. And have a serious, deep tradition in creativity when it comes to carnival. We're not talking about sensei and susu sui and those things. No, I'm talking about creativity. In other words, throughout the lifespan of the Thunderbirds Carnival organization, I, as one of the leaders of that organization, we have always participated in Monday and Tuesday Carnival. All right? And when the whole costume parade was shifted from Monday to Tuesday, which I think killed Monday Carnival, and it should be revived, but it created a gap, a big gap in what happens in Roseau between 6 in the morning and 8 in the night. However, that organization has always, probably with 1 or 2 years exception, when my brother Loftus Emmanuel made a couple, 3 or 4 carnival bands, and the Thunderbirds Carnival organization incorporated him in their creativity. Right, one of the bands, Back to Africa, he made another one, Legend of the Ages, he made, and the whole Thunderbirds community or family came into that process. So they step aside their own creativity for a couple of years and formed together with a group we had on the Newtown Savannah called Limers at the point. So we had Thunderbirds, we had Limers. But the Thunderbirds Carnival organization, we must give credit to them for their consistency in participating in Dominica Carnival, both contemporary carnival and traditional carnival. Because the traditional carnival, we also have to give Carnival Corner, my lady. Carnival Corner must be given a tremendous amount of credit for sustaining and maintaining the traditional mass, the sensei costume.
Curtis Gordon and the others.
And John Revere.
Yes, I was at the
Churchill
at the house yesterday.
And those guys. For the Thunderbirds Carnival organization, you have Glenn Ducre, you have Fitzroy Williams, you have all of myself who actually keep on the tradition. Because remember, folks out there, brief history, remember after the 1963 fire in Roseau Central, the sensei costume was banned by government. You could not come from 64 until 1993. You could not come into Roseau Carnival with whether it's a pie fig, a one twirl, a bag, or a rope sensei. You could not. It is until after 1993, and Carnival Corner was very instrumental in getting the Freedom Party to lift the ban on the use of sensei in our carnival, or to bring back the traditional aspect of our mass, so that people can see and enjoy it. Nice. So it is Carnival Corner who really, lobbied to bring that back. And take into consideration, while the sensei, we have to give some of our rural areas credit. While some of the senseis we couldn't use in Roseau, Granby never banned the sensei.
We have to go to that in a short while.
All right, go ahead.
We can get a little music, guys. And yes, Dean, remember, Nigel, by the way, you were dancing, right?
But of course I was.
Man, I take my foot, I tell Dean to take me out on camera and go on, guys. Let me lodge you. Yeah. But it's just wonderful, just to be, in the presence of, people who continue to uphold our culture. But Zai, I wanted to speak on that a little later. We don't have much time.
Sure.
But in terms of documenting these things, who documents these things? Where can I find
We are very fortunate because at one point we were looking for documentary in Thunderbirds. And before we started, we brought in somebody to videotape everything we were doing at a particular time. For around 3 years, we had the guy come in and document. But I think it's Digicel. There's a lot of footage there.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, but you would have to, if they agree, you'd have to have somebody go through everything, because we got quite a bit of footage, Thunderbirds, from the digital archives.
Yeah, because the sustenance of our culture is important, but the preservation.
Exactly.
The preservation for posterity, that too is important. Guys, you ready? You want to give me a jig there? Let's go. So we're going to take some more music, and then we have the stilt walkers coming in, Nigel, right after. So whilst they are speaking to us, we'll see what they would have done on the outside, because because they're on stilts. So let's get some more music. Let's get some more music. on, Ule. Si nou moun nan esa la. Niceness, wow. Nigel, let me tell you something. Nigel, boy, I say not in Carnival this year, dear, but I changed my mind. Okay, sir. What? I really, really enjoyed
when
this.
You hear that, you have no choice.
No choice, no choice.
No choice. No choice at all. I mean, the sweet songs of Lapo Cabrit, and we're having a nice, interesting discussion going on the book as well. You know, about the Lapo Cabrit and the new drums that we have coming in, the modern drums and the Lapo drums and everything else. So, interesting vibes. Zach, really quick question though. By the way, who this sensei? You could not reveal before who was in the senses and so on, because I know, guys just
very good question.
Who was in the sensei there a while ago?
That's Chicago.
Chicago, isn't it? Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
But you're raising a critical point, Nigel. If you were to unidentify yourself with a sensei back then during the band movie days, you'd have to go home right away. You can't play bass again. Because the idea was for you to disguise yourself, right? Representing both reality and spirituality. All right? Because the sensei itself is a West African costume. Right? It is from what we call the TWI people in Ghana. All right? And it is made to represent a chicken with a cow's head. So think of that combination. A chicken with a cow's head. How much spiritual it can get than that?
Yes, that's deep.
That's deep. So the whole idea of you disguising, you hiding yourself so somebody else cannot identify you is one of the critical aspects of wearing the sensei. Right?
Nice.
We had a gentleman, I don't know if Ivo knows him, from Queen Mary Street up by where Pastor Rodney has his church.
Well, that's where I was saying, that's where my house was.
There's a partner we call Fube.
But of course.
And Fube was crooked.
Yeah.
He was bending.
And we had bandy legs as well.
Bandy legs, okay. Yeah. So Fube put on his costume mass up top to bottom. and he playing Vari, making a big Varian Queen in his street. And you're not supposed to know who is that. But because of his bonus, his bow leg, a woman say, body, me fool, bear yourself. And right away, Fuba had to go and take out the costume on him.
Yeah, because he wasn't supposed
because
to.
you're not supposed to identify anybody with that costume.
Wow.
So that is how sacred this thing was. You know.
But let me ask you that.
Yeah.
Because I mean, having the sensei and having to have that sensei on all day, was there like any preparation those guys used to have to do? I mean, like to keep hydrated, or
man, and water's flowing to it, Nigel.
Yes,
thoracic lubrication.
I would just hit it on the head. The cooling down was the alcohol. And remember, partner, you used to have a funnel, you know, to drink the liquid, you know. You cannot take out your mask to drink.
Yes.
They used to have funnels attached to the costume.
Because you just did not have to know what
you just couldn't disguise. So you had to have your funnel attached to the costume, a butu in your hand, a mash pel or something, and mark you back then with no juve. These guys were individuals. They would come out with their pie fig, their big head bobo, right, their long tongue, frightening people, and they would have what we call a biscuit tin tied behind them, dragging behind them, and the tin is the music. While they're dragging the tin, or old potchom as they call it, you know, tied behind them.
Man,
and they're dragging this, and this thing is what giving them the music. Because there's no live music for them to play their mass. That was the live music.
That's our mass. We have 4 people in studio as well, Nigel, because I wanted to bring in the young people to show, you know, how we continue to sustain this and pass this on to the younger generation.
Definitely.
So as I said earlier, in terms of their stilts, it was kind of too high for them to be in studio, and we captured them properly. So we did a short video outside, and we will upload it. I think it's uploaded already. We're going to show it. But we want to bring them in. Just to hear from them a little. We have Rosanna Roye John, who is in studio. She is the healer, you know, behind this. She works with a team, yes, but she's really at the forefront of this, and it's really a pleasure to have them on. Good morning.
Good morning.
Welcome, man. Rosie, how you doing?
I good, you know.
You're good?
Up, you nice?
Yes, I'm fine. Tell us about this. Ensemble that you have here.
Well, we have a group of young people with us. Our name, Newton Boabwa Academy. We have our Vice President, Mackay John Baptiste, our PRO, Kaylee, and one of our members, Tishira. Say something, guys.
Good morning.
Good morning, guys. Good morning. It's lovely to see, young people like you being involved in the whole culture and the whole carnival. So you are stilt walkers, right?
Yes.
All right. Tell us a little. How is it difficult for you to be doing stilt walking, or is it something that anybody can come and practice and then be able to do it? How difficult is it?
Well, it's not difficult. I think it's something anybody. Even the grown people, it's very easy. It's like walking on your normal feet.
What about stilt walking that you guys like that much? Is it because you're above everybody and you can see everything, or you just? What about it you like?
Well, it's just fun, as you know. It's a learning process. It's something that you can develop and do in the future. It is also something that could bring you far.
Nice. And the young lady beside you, as a young girl being involved in the stilt walking, is that something you're enjoying as well? Yes. Do you find the younger you are, maybe it's more difficult, or it doesn't really matter?
No, it doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter. How long does it take you? You have to practice and so on, right? How long does it take you think, for you to learn to be a stilt walker? About a week to practice, 2 weeks? How long it takes you?
I think it depends on the type of person. It doesn't really take that long.
All right, I like that. We have someone else again?
Yes, we have Tishira with us. Tishira, say something.
Hi, Tishira.
Hi.
Tell us about your journey on this bois, how it started for you.
It started when I was young, at a very young age.
I started when I was like around 7, 8 years. And it was very fun because we had a lot of people, but now we have less. So we try and see what we can do and work with.
Wow. So Rosanna, you have to see if you can bring in more people, and Zai, I want to bring you in as well, because I was saying earlier, this is really important.
Yeah, it's important. But let us just briefly give a little history of what we call Boa Boa in Dominica, but other islands it's called Moko Jumbi, right? And the brief history of it is, and Rose and I know very, very well.
Exactly.
We are working Carnival together in the Thunderbirds Carnival organization. But briefly, the whole idea of the Boa Boa, the stilts particularly, right, in the costume, represents an African saying that these Moko Jumbis are so tall in the air, they can see evil before you. And it is your responsibility to prepare you as to how to deal with that evil. They communicate that to you because they're more advanced.
Like Medveys, man.
Medvey, exactly. They're more advanced than you.
We no longer do that here. We just up. We don't look out for evil. We just
you're not. I'm not.
up.
Yes, talking about how it started.
Right now, you know. But that was the history.
That's the history of it, right? Okay, that they were saviors for the community because they could see the Jumbi way back. So they call them Moko Jumbi, or we call them Boa Boa here. Right. And it's not just in Dominica, it's in Antigua, it's in Bahamas, right. it's all over the place. St. Kitts, all of those islands have their own type of Moko Jumbi. But it's very good to see how it has been preserved in Dominica Carnival. This is one of the 4 costumes, traditional costumes, that have been preserved in our carnival. Whether it was done by individuals, and now give Africulture, give the Newtown Babua credit for sustaining it.
Yeah, definitely. So what we're going to do is just start it, then we're going to show them what we did on the outside when they came in. It would be nice to see them, live and performing with their boa boa. But we have to do it this way. So we're going to bring it on shortly, Nigel. But, I really feel good about this, the fact that the young people can see this as important. And then they will pass on the baton, and then another group will take it, and we have to go with this. We cannot kill these things. These are important aspects of our.
Right. To see my, that who's mother,
but yes,
for the father was one leading lap.
In fact, my did on my
you guys,
side.
all
yes,
right. Love is lap with you'd see. With drums.
All right. Yes, this is just wonderful. We're trying to make technology work for us as well. Back to the young people. What do you feel when you're like in the? What do you feel? What goes through your mind? You're seeing people like little people. Mind at that and the music, people shouting and everything is happening. What is happening with you two?
Okay, so what's going through my mind when I'm on top was that I'm taller than everyone. I think that I'm bigger than everyone. But also as I'm on top, I do enjoy what I do, entertaining the people. That's just the fun part of it.
All right. What about you? Yes, next to him, what about you?
I feel very tall, like what he said. I feel like a giant. And I have to watch down to all these little people.
You too, you feel that way when you're up there on the stills?
No, sometimes it feels fun, but then when you watch down, it does be a little scary, but you're off. So like, you feel like everybody can do anything, so it does be fun.
Wow. So we're trying to make it work though. It's on so you can see it, but it's not moving as we would like it to. So we're trying to see how we can fix that before the time ends. But Rosanna, quickly tell us before we go on to Zah and before we start to wrap up, in terms of what you have done for the year, what you are looking forward to doing for the rest of the season. What is your calendar of activities like?
Okay, so currently we are preparing for Carnival. So we have practice almost every day or every other day and every Saturday for sure. We've attended the opening, the old mass, and we also did St. Joe.
Yeah.
That was fun.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we're doing this today. We're doing with DBS, and then tomorrow we'll be at Soufriere at the Queen launching, the Queen contestant launching.
Oh,
We are
okay.
also preparing for our Carnival Tuesday, so we have been working on our costumes and stuff. Yeah. And we want to thank that case. We want to thank the Chinese embassy because they gave us a small contribution sponsorship. Also,
Nice.
the UNESCO, which funded our costumes for the sensei and some other costumes through their uh, participation program.
Nice, 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 nice. I love when I see the young people being involved in an aspect of our carnival, especially the traditional aspect, and keeping it going. So I want to make sure congratulate you guys and tell you to keep it going. And for those who probably want to join, how can they, like you said, your numbers are going down? Can they become part of this? How can they join the Newton Baba group?
Well, they can just come in to our where we practice. We have our own space right now at the Newton Primary School through the Innovation Center. We also need to thank Mr. Tong and them for that. So they can fill out an application membership form and pay us the registration fee of 20.
Yep.
And that's it. So we would appreciate
All
it.
right. So we want to encourage all the young people. Yes, all the young people, especially in the Newton area, Roseau area, whatever it is. Go find yourself to the practice. What times do you guys practice?
No, we practice from 3 o'clock in the
3 o'clock.
afternoons. Yes. Now, Miss Ivona asked me what was our schedule like for the season or for the year. Last year, we had a summer camp. We're hoping to have another summer camp where we touched on cultural entrepreneurship through school, Stills Walking. We had a papier-mâché face mask building with Mr. John Riviere and Sensei building with Mr. Henry Nelson Henry from Granby. We also did stilt walking led by our more experienced walkers. Yeah, and Fridays were our outing days. So we had a lot of fun for that. The children had fun. Makai or Kelly or Makai or Kelly could
Yeah, but we don't have that much time, so we don't want to rush you. But as we wrap up, just tell us when you had with these workshops.
The summer camp was a great experience as we learned on cultural entrepreneurship. We also learned that could bring us like a lot of income. If we take it serious and one step, we could be professionals. I would say at building, which is it's also a fun process but hard because you have to do the strippings of the bags, sewing. It's a tough process.
Yeah, it's a big job, I remember what once the Carnival Sensei band, and I had to make my Sensei costumes. So I went right to St. Joseph by this guy, and to just see Kunta, preparing that Sensei, it's a lot of work. A lot of work. But from you, Oli?
Yes, the summer camp fun. We did also masking. Mask making was one of my favorite parts. I learned how to make a mask and how to paint it. And it was
wow, I love to tell you, they enjoy it. So tell us.
So we also want to Proof Officer, Miss Melissa John Lewis. She has been very instrumental in helping us out. Yeah. So we want to thank her. And the youth division.
Let's just hear from this young lady next to you, so we can. Yes, your closing remarks and tell us how much fun you have whilst you're doing this.
I had so much fun over all the years I've been here. You can meet a lot of amazing people. You're having fun. You must have respect. They teach you a lot of fun stuff. Like sometimes you have to be there helping the teacher out with everything. You have to learn the dance. So like we had a lot of fun over the years I've been here.
Well, that's good. The fact that you're having fun, that's good. So you could stick around still, I mean, but let me thank you all. Let me wish you all the best. I'm hoping that, people are listening, especially those overseas, can see what they can do to help the effort, because we have to sustain this. Right,
definitely. One of our major challenges is sponsorship.
Okay,
because most of the members we have are from the lower end bracket, so that is in itself is a big challenge for us.
All right, so we'll see what we can mount up, Nigel. But yes, this is wonderful.
It is wonderful, and if you notice, you spoke of the awareness they get when they're up there. You notice, being that high, it attracts a particular awareness to them, and all of them identify that when they're up there, the feeling, the consciousness, that come to them, even in the JOT, right? So here goes the whole idea, the whole concept behind the Moko Jombi, the Boa Boa thing, having a highly spiritual, aspect to it. And I'm going to close, right? Are you ready? Or?
No, let's go. Let's go. Just a few minutes.
Okay.
But yeah.
So I'm just hoping that we could assist, both the New Tang Boa Boa and Africulture, who has been doing a fantastic job also, representing that aspect of our culture in Carnival. And the other traditional costumes, which we didn't touch on.
And there's so many.
There's so many. You have the Suswell Sui.
Yes.
Which we didn't touch on.
Yes, and we were expecting a Suswell Sui.
And we're expecting a Suswell Sui. The Sui has a very strong history, again, in spiritualism.
That's the one normally with a lot of mirrors, right?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
So we have two kinds. We have the bat, the straight bat. The Suswell Sui is a bat, right? And then we have the more like the musketeer, like the free musketeer costume, which is more European, in its whole makeup, than the actual bat costume itself will more represent, the traditional, organic African thinking, right, going forward. So, and then, as you said, you have the other individual, the big boom boom ladies, you have this, you have that, you have so many other things we could have talked tonight. But then, what I really, really like to stress out there, and I hope everybody's listening to this, we must engage our schools in Carnival. The art, the technique of building a sensei is dying out. We as Thunderbirds, we play traditional mass on Monday. And sometimes to find a sensei builder, it is very tough. In Roseau, if you go to St. Joe, you go to Grand Bay, yes. But in Roseau Central, that tradition is dying out. So we think as an organization, as a Carnival organization, you have to get the students involved.
I agree.
In understanding their history and representing why it must be sustained.
It's just like the warped weight as well,
that we could discuss too. So I'm going to leave something with you,
but
right?
No, but Zah, let me tell Nigel, and you'll agree, we have to bring Zah on again, to talk about so many things, and because there's a cultural vibrancy in Newtown and Kings Hill, and the adjacent communities that we want to talk about as well, Zah. So
Roseau North. We haven't even touched Roseau North.
Right. So,
and Roseau North Lapokad could be here.
Yeah. So there's a lot we have to talk about football and everything. But no, we're just looking at the traditional aspects of our Carnival. But it's really rich, Nigel, and I just love the fact that the young people can continue with this. I mean, the Junior Calypso Monarch, you can see the young people, in this, and that augurs well, for the sustenance of this cultural product.
It does. And what I love the fact is that Zai is able to give us, the historical perspective so that we can connect. It's not just being parts of something, but you're part of a bigger process.
Yes.
So that connection is important. And it's something, that we definitely have to get into the schools. Zai, in terms of preparation, what's happening for Thunderbirds quickly, if you can?
Well, this year we are doing traditional mass on Monday, which we remember Carnival Corner kept the mantle for a long time. Now that Carnival Corner has been dissolved to a great extent, it is our responsibility, right, to maintain the traditional Roseau Carnival. which is the Sensei Carnival. So for the past, I would say, 12 years, we have really engineered bringing back the Sensei in our carnival. All right? So that objective is on. And for the contemporary mass itself, which is the Tuesday parade, we always contribute. So we're going to be doing Come As You Like on Carnival Tuesday. But preparing for 2025. We're preparing already for 2025 when we're going to be doing a tribute to Alwyn Bowley.
Beautiful.
Both Carnival Monday and Tuesday.
I love this.
So I'm going to involve you guys in that process.
Yeah, man.
All
We have
right?
to keep that going.
Which would require a lot of hands on deck to represent Alwyn and his contribution to the cultural arts in Dominica.
Wow.
Right. I know like Carnival Corner used to have like an area that was like the mass camp kind of thing.
Yes.
For Thunderbirds, where is that area?
We meet every Sunday at Harlem Plaza, and we have been doing that for the past 8-9 years. Okay. Every Sunday, 4 o'clock, Harlem Plaza.
All right. But Nigel, we have to keep this discussion. And it doesn't necessarily have to be around Carnival time. We can do it anytime because we have to talk about these things. We did not even look so much at the street theater and what people like Andy Carter was doing. And there was this man with a prom one year, you know, and a baby in the it was just something else on the street. That spectacle really added, you know.
Yes, and of course you can't forget Moro. You know, I mean, Moro back then.
There's so many names you can come up with.
You know, would come out regardless of, he'd always be there, his own little thing, and Barbara Richards.
No matter how difficult it is for him.
Yes.
And
the men in their night gowns and their underwear and all of that. Yes, in fact,
very quickly, that was all part of the whole. I mean, the individuals also part of the whole process, right?
Yeah, man, played a critical role. It's a key cog with all the individual characters, like not just individuals, you know, Nigel, the characters, the individual characters. Or Carnival wouldn't have no jewelry in it. Because them folks actually put on a play. They put on an act.
Yes.
You know, particularly for the young kids who were allowed to go to Roseau at that time. Remember, partner, at one point we couldn't go Roseau, you know.
Yeah.
We used to have to stay on the Newton Savannah and play cricket when Carnival was on because it was so tough to take you into the city.
Yeah, those were the days of fun. And, you know, I grew up in the area where everything was happening. You know, close to merry-go-round and high streets and Calypso House, and so much was happening then. I'm hoping, Nigel, that even going forward, we can bring some of the people who would have, you know, done a lot in the past, bring them on, and let us reenact these things. Let us see, you know, how much we can bring out in terms of the history and culture.
We have a knowledge bank out there in people like Colin Bowley.
But of course.
You know, and some about the key people who have... we should really try to document.
Last year on the program, we had the 1963 fire. We spoke about the 1963 fire. We had Afi Mate. Colin was on as well. Rupert Lance. We had Rose as well.
Right.
And these are the things that we have to document.
It has to be documented.
But Nigel, look at the time already. We have to end.
We're going to lose it. We have to document.
Man, we have to end. We have to end.
Yes, we do. But it's always nice connecting. It's a pleasure seeing you again.
Yeah, man.
Nice connection. Keep the vibes going. Keep the carnival vibes going. But more than that, keep the connection with the young people so they understand where it's all coming from and why they have to keep doing it. So much appreciation.
But and we didn't get into what we do now about Monday to Tuesday in history and contemporary. What we want to do with it.
What we want to do with it.
What we want to do with it.
But we can have a discussion.
How we can close that gap. There's a big gap. Yeah. How we can close it.
And if you're not careful and we put things in proper, in place, we would lose a lot. So we have to do it right. We have to get it right.
So let me say to my Thunderbirds family, we're ready to play. We'll be there from Juve, enjoying ourselves.
There's a Come As You Like, you see, right?
Come As You Like on Tuesday.
I just going in there, say?
Come As You Like. It doesn't matter. Just Come As You Like.
As you like,
on Tuesdays. So like no big expense. Whatever you have at home in your wardrobe, you put it on and you come As You Like Carnival.
Wow. Well, let me thank you, Zah. I'm so happy that and I know you'd always, respond positively to things like that. So I'm happy for this. Thanks for all the knowledge. We have to bring it on again. There's a lot we want to look at. Thanks to all, the people who were here with us. Nigel, we'll do it again next week, God willing.
Yes, we connect again, my dear, as always.
Boy, our partner say he come in. The king of Bouillon. Asa should be here next week, Saturday, God willing. So let's see how it goes. All the best, Nigel. All right, take care.
All right, my bro. Thank you.
All right, take care.